Hi guys, this is Shiva Reddy. Welcome to the session on Java reflection methods. In this session, we are going to inspect the methods behavior of a class in at the runtime using the Java reflection. So let us go ahead and start our Eclipse. And previous session, I explained how to inspect the behavior of a class at the runtime using the Java reflection. So in this class, we are basically focusing on the how to inspect the methods at the runtime. So using the class dot for name, first we can load the class into the memory. If you don't know which class are we don't have any proper information about the class details. So by using the class dot for name, you can load the class dynamically. So first what I'm going to do is class dot get methods. So this is going to return me a list of all the methods array of sorry it is going to return me array of methods declared in the class declared or defined in the class. So I need to import methods. It is from the java.lang dot reflected dot method. This is the class, and now we can iterate through the method array. So method method colon methods using the for each loop. So now if I print directly the methods, so it is going to return me a list of it is going to print the all the methods we have defined in the class employee, and also it is going to display all the methods which is even defined in the superclass object, as because the employee class by default it is inheriting the properties of the object also. So it is going to print all the methods which is declared in the superclass object class as well. So now what we need to do is, if you want to get only particular method, then what you can do is class dot get method. Then here you can specify the method name here. So first one is, you can specify what is the method you want and what are the parameters, so that the particular method only it is going to return. For example, I'd like to set employee ID, and it is going to take integer as a input. So I can say dot integer class in dot class. So now it is going to return me only this method. So no such method exception. It is like a checked exception. So we have to catch or throws the exception. So I have throws this exception. Now if you get this method, it is going to return the object as get method is going to return the method. So you can directly catch that one to method. So method set employee ID. So if I print this method, then you can see this method is going to return as system.out.println set employee ID. If I see, then this code is going to return me the method which is declared in the employee class, which matches the employee set employee ID. If you see here, so public void com.java Siva Java techie dot reflection dot employee set employee ID. So this is the method which is going to satisfy this criteria, and it is going to print. For example, if you don't want to any parameterized method, then you can directly specify the name. For example, I have written display. So if I go here and if I see the setter employee ID, so this is the method just now we have by using the dot get method, we pass the set employee ID as a method name, and integer it is going to take as input parameter. So that is the method. Now if you want to get that method, you can pass this one. But if you want to get a without parameterized method name, the for example, if it you say it is a display, it does not have a parameter, it is the return type is void. So to get this type of signature, then you can specify the method name as display. This is the method name, and it does not take any parameter. So what you can just specify is null. So this is going to return the method which does not have any parameters and with the display name. If you see here, yeah, this is going to print the display name. And similarly, if we want to get the method with the different parameters, then for example, in the case of set employee ID only one. Now I want to add one more parameter, just a string emp name. Now I want to get this method using the Java reflection. So in that case, what I need to do is I need to go here, and here I need to specify set employee ID, and if you want to read me that one, so what you can do is new object object array of. Here you need to specify the data types. First one is what it is int dot class, and second one parameter is string dot class. So now what it is going to do is, sorry, it is not the object array, it is the class. Okay. Now what it is going to do is it is going to identify what is the method name which has the set employee ID, and it is look for the parameters. So integer and it is a string. So it is go to the employee class and identify what is the method which is declared or defined as a with these two properties, two parameters like int employee ID and string employee name, and it is going to return you that that method. So if I run this program, you can see that it is going to give you the siva.java.techie.reflection.employee set employee ID integer comma siva.lang.string, sorry, java.lang.string. So this is going to identify which method which has these two proper matching with the two input properties or the data types it has defined, and it is trying to get it. And then now if you want to get the parameters for the particular method, then what you can do is set employee ID dot get parameters. So it is going to return you the parameters, whatever parameter types also you can specify. So if you pass this method and I am going to return this one as a get parameter types, then it is going to return you the class array. So class of types, I am just printing as a types equal to, I am just assigning this one. Then for class type types, and now if I print these values, then it is going to specify what are the types we have defined for um, this method. Now if I run this program, then see integer and the uh, class is java.lang.string. So for this method, there are two types we have defined. That is, one is with the integer, and another one it is going to take the string as a class object. So this is how you can find out the parameters are declared while we declared for the method. And one more thing you can find out is um, set employee ID. This is nothing but the method set get return type. So even if you can allow, if even it can allow you to find out the what is the return type for this method. So this is also again going to return type. So it is always going to be a single method, or the method always return the single value. So, but if you want to working with the arrays or something, then it will be a return type of arrays. Okay. So now if I run this program, and you can see the output as it is going, the set employee ID return type is the void. But if you are declaring it, if you are defined with the some other return type, then using this method, using this set dot employee ID dot get return type, it is going to return you the return type of the particular class what you are particular method. And then now if we want to invoke a particular method using the Java reflection, then what you need to do is first you need to create an object for this. For example, it is a class. So employee class emp equal to class dot new instance. First you need to create an instance of it. Now what you need to do is, you can call this one as a object, or even you can consider employee. Okay, it is going to illegal access exception, so let it be. So now you created an employee object. By using this one, you can invoke the method. For example, now I want to invoke the sent employee ID using the using Java reflection. So now what I can do is, so set employee ID already we have got the method. So what I can do is set employee ID dot invoke. So it is going to take the arguments. One is what is the object and what object you want to invoke, and then now object is nothing but the employee object. This is what I want, and then you need to pass the arguments. So in order to pass the arguments, so it is going to take two things: object array. Then here what you need to do is new object array of. Then here you can pass the values. For example, here integer I want to pass 101, and for the string I want to pass Shiva as a name. Okay, now what it is going to do is, it is going to it is going to invoke the, sorry, it is going to invoke the employee ID method. It is also throws the checked exception, that is invocation target exception. So you can throws that one. Now what is going to happen is, it identifies what is the set employee ID method, and it invoke using the object employee, and it is going to pass the values whatever we are passing here. Here it is for the employee ID, it is going to pass 101, and for Shiva it is for the employee name. Now if you want to see the output of it, we have one more method we have written to display it. So what I am going to do is method display equal to, sorry, assigning to class dot get method of, I want to get the display method display, and then I don't want any, it does not have any parameter, so then you can pass just a null. Now this is going to return me a employee. It is going to inspect the employee class, and it is going to return me the method which is declared with the display name. Now I am going to invoke the display method to see what is the value, because by using the above method we have setting the employee ID and employee name. Now I want to print these values. In order to print that value, I have written the display method. So now I am going to invoke this method display dot invoke. Then it is same employee, and then it does not have any parameter, so just pass null. Okay. Now if I run this program, you can see the output as, sorry, here it is getting instantiate object exception, no instance. Okay, one second. Here you can say object. Okay, now let us see. Siva.employee class no such employee dot employee int no such class. Class dot new instant is correct, right? It is not new. Okay, 1 second. So let us go here and let me print the employee. Now let us see. Yes, program. Yeah. So the only problem is when we are trying to instantiate. So ideally, I have created a parameter constructor. So that is the reason it is expecting argument needs to be passed. But when I am creating a empty constructor, then it is going to work fine. But if you see here, so 101 and employee name, it didn't set it. Because employee name, why it didn't set is because for the set employee class, I just only included the employee name, but it didn't set it. But if I set here this dot employee name equal to emp name, then if I run this program, you can see the output as okay, employee ID 101, employee name is Shiva. And one more you can do is you can invoke the private methods. For example, if I set employee ID, so this is the public, right? Now if I mark even the private, and now if I try to run this program, see what is the difference, and then using the reflection how we can even invoke the private methods also. So for example, if you see here java.low no such method exception, because we have marked that one as a private private access specifier. So in order to do that, what you can do is, so method, you are getting the method now, set employee id dot set accessible, set accessible false. Now if I go ahead and run this program, it is going to run it. I'm just clearing it. Now once again if I run this program, it will be running fine. I think it is, should be true. No. Okay, this is the case, right? Just I don't print the methods here because it is trying to access the exception. Now if I go ahead and run this program, now it does not give me any error. Set accessible false. Now let us go ahead and run this program.